Okay, so in today's video I'm going to be building the Lego Harry Potter Collector's Edition Hogwarts Express. So if you want to see that, then keep on watching. Okay, so I first of all started by obviously opening the box and taking all of the bags out, and it was at this point that I basically realised that this was not going to be one video. I was not going to be able to build all of this and keep it condensed enough to be able to just do one video. So I have decided that at this point I have only edited this video, but this is the first book of 4. So I think what I'm going to do is make this a 4-part series. I'm not going to make you wait too long for the next parts. It's literally going to be like, this one comes out, then the following Wednesday will be part 2, following Wednesday will be part 3, following Wednesday will be part 4. Yeah, so there won't be too much of a break in between, but obviously I have my Friday/Saturday video depending on when I decide to actually get them up, but that will be in the middle as well, so there will be a video in between each upload. But yeah, as it stands right now, I think it's going to be a 4-part. It depends on how long the 3rd part is and how long the 4th part is, because the 3rd book I believe was the thickest book, but then the 4th book wasn't very thick at all, so it depends on how long they end up being, so we shall see. But yeah, like I say, at the moment as it stands, it's probably going to be a 4-part series, which is exactly what I'm going to do with Diagon Alley. Luckily with these bigger ones, there's kind of like a natural stopping ground to be able to cut this up. So obviously there's 4 books for this one, and there was 4 books for Diagon Alley, but further than that obviously you have the actual train part at the front, which is this book. Then there's like a coal carriage and the track, which is book 2, and then there's the actual like carriage that has the 3 scenes in it, that's book 3, and then book 4 was the station. So it just makes sense to kind of split it up like that. And the same with Diagon Alley, there's 4 shops, so each shop had a different book basically. Well, there are more shops than that, but there's 4 like base plates for it. So yeah, it kind of makes sense and it splits up quite easily. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do with this. And then I think I have finally decided that Diagon Alley is going to go up in September for the like Back to Hogwarts season. When you go to the studio tour, they have like that period of time as like the Back to Hogwarts section, or like theme, which is obviously like coincides with back to school. So I think I'm going to do it then, obviously because Harry went and shopped for all of his school equipment and stuff while in Diagon Alley, so I think that is when I'm going to upload the Diagon Alley. Yeah, I still need to edit those, and I'm probably gonna like refilm an intro, because the intro and outro that I did for that was like so long ago. I'm literally in my old room still, and I have since moved where the Diagon Alley set is. It's still in that room, but it's not where it is by the end of that video. So I think I'm going to have to revisit that and refilm the intros and outros. But yeah, so obviously you can see here I'm just kind of building the actual like mechanism for like the actual train, because the wheels on this front train, like the actual like locomotive bit, they actually move, so some of it was a little bit fiddly and a little bit complicated. It wasn't too bad, but it was just a little bit time consuming making sure that everything was right and everything was in place. So yeah, obviously you can see here that I've done 2 bags already and it's not really looking like much. Yeah, that was the one thing with this set. When I opened the box and the bags just kept coming out, I think there was like 43 bags in there, 43 numbered bags, and then there was like 2 that were not numbered, that just had like additional pieces in them. which again, to compare it to Diagon Alley, is not that much different, because if I remember correctly, there was either like 21 or 22 different numbers, but each or nearly every number had 2 bags each, so there was probably like the best part of like 35 to 40 bags in there. So yeah, definitely quite a lot in there as well. But this, I believe, is the highest piece count set that I have, I believe. It's definitely the most expensive one, but it should be when it's like over £400. But yeah, I didn't actually think I was going to be able to get this set, because it retired at the end of last year, and when I went to buy it, it was out of stock absolutely everywhere. So yeah, I didn't actually think I was going to be able to get my hands on it, but thankfully and luckily my boyfriend managed to get it for me for Christmas. I really didn't expect it at all, obviously because of how expensive it is, and also the fact that it was sold out like everywhere. So yeah, I'm really happy that I ended up getting it, because this was like the one set that I've wanted ever since I started collecting Lego, this and the collector's edition Hedwig, but I actually have that one already, but I built that one before I actually started doing videos, so that one was already built separate from filming basically, which is kind of annoying because I think that would have made a great video, but it's okay. I've got the other big ones instead, and I've got plenty more sets in my wardrobe waiting to be built, so definitely not short on Lego content at all. We've got plenty of Harry Potter sets, and we also have a Disney one. I think there's only one Disney one, but yeah, it's the, if you watched my what I got for Christmas, it is the mini Disney castle, and I think I'm probably going to do that one after I've finished the 4 Hogwarts Express ones. So after that one I'll probably take a little break from doing Lego, but then I'll potentially be back in with the Disney castle, so definitely make sure that you subscribe so that you don't miss that, and also so that you don't miss parts 2, 3 and 4 of this set. Yeah, so once they're all out, what I'll do is I will, if I remember, I will link the other parts in the description so that you can just go and go straight to them. Obviously once they're already out, I can't do that beforehand, but yeah, once they're out I will try and remember to do that. You probably already have noticed that I'm also building this on the floor, which to be honest would not be my preference for building Lego, but this set was just way too big to be able to build it anywhere else. I did briefly consider building on my desk, but then when I looked at the dimensions on the back of the box, and it basically says that the track and the train, once it's fully built, is like 4 foot long, I was like, yeah, there's no way. So I opted to kind of build it on the floor, which was a bit of a pain because the book was way too far away, which obviously, to be fair, if you was just building this then it would be fine, but it's because obviously I'm filming a video as well, so I wanted to make sure that the book was in the video, so that even though it is actually quite far away, if you wanted to then you could see it, and you can definitely see it, just probably not in enough detail for it to actually be useful, but yeah, so that kind of made it a little bit difficult for some of the smaller bits, and especially like the mechanical bits for this first bit. So I was constantly checking, like especially the smaller bits, to make sure that I hadn't missed anything, which you should do anyway, but I was definitely doing with this one, because I was really scared that I was going to miss something really small and then it not all fit together and then have to like take it all apart again basically. So there was definitely some parts that I did put together and then take apart again because I'd done it wrong, or not necessarily done it wrong, but there was like a little bit that I'd missed out, or like skipped over a little bit, and I tend to do that a little bit with Lego sets. I think I've probably done it once or twice in every set that I've done, unless it's been like a really small one, but to be fair, even in like the brickhead sets that I've done, you kind of just get so carried away and you know, you think, oh yeah, it's fine, like I've done that bit, and then when you actually look at it you're like, oh no, okay, I actually haven't, and you get a little bit too carried away and you don't actually like keep track of what you're actually doing. So I definitely wanted to make sure with this one that I wasn't doing that, because I just knew it was going to be such a pain if that did happen, and I was going to have to sort of like backtrack and try and figure out where it had gone wrong, and I just knew that was going to be so time consuming. But yeah, you can see here I've just put that other little bit that I was building on, so the actual like train part of it is coming together now, and I believe the bit that I'm building now is actually like the front of it, like the little round bit at the front, or it might be, okay, no, it's like the bumper, the little bumper bit that would like connect to the end of the line if obviously it was a real train and at the end of the line. So it's just that little bit there. And then I don't think we've got too much left on this book actually. I think it's just sort of that front little bit there, and then the wheel section, which was sort of another thing in itself, to be fair. But yeah, obviously as we're going through these bags, we're getting the minifigures as well. So those minifigures that we're getting are to go inside of the carriage once it's built, which is book 3. There's 3 separate scenes inside, which I'm not going to spoil it. You'll have to come back for video 3 to see it. But yeah, there's 3 different scenes. So yeah, I was kind of, as I was going through and getting the different characters, they kind of give them to you in order. So there's a scene from the first film, a scene from one of the middle ones, and then a scene from, I think it's Deathly Hallows, one of them. I can't quite remember which one it is. I may be wrong. Correct me in the comments if you wish to. Yeah, that would actually be quite helpful. I just know that one of them is definitely from the Philosopher's Stone, and I know the other one, but I don't really want to say it because it's going to give it away, like what the actual scene is. But it's very cool, and they do look really cool in there. So yeah, you definitely have to make sure that you subscribe and come back to see part 3, to see what's in there. But yeah, at this point I'm basically just getting loads of different minifigures. So we've got the train conductor, and I think in this one we got Harry, Ron and Hermione in this book, and then I believe we also get, yeah, I'm building her right now, you also get the trolley lady. What's her name? I can't remember. But the lady that comes round basically asking them if they want anything from the trolley, where Harry obviously says, yeah, we'll take the lot. So you get her as well. And then as you can see here, I had to turn it upside down and start doing the wheel bit. So the wheels came separately in another bag, like one of the ones that I said had no numbering on it. So they came separately, and then yeah, I just had to make sure that all of the wheels lined up, and then yeah, that was me just trying it on the floor to make sure they actually did roll. And then yeah, there's obviously just the other little bits that sort of like go around and down, just to make it look a bit better and also make it run a little bit better. So this is another smaller set of wheels that go at the front. But the ones that move are the 6 at the back, which you have to link up. I think I'm now building the bit that links them up, yeah. So you had to build like a little stick thing to build them up, but it was a little bit tricky because if you didn't actually put them in at the right place, then they would stick out in the wrong areas. So yeah, you kind of just had to make sure that you lined them up correctly, so that you could actually get them in and have it run correctly, basically. If not, it was going to sort of go round and then it would like smack into the wheel instead of just going around next to it. So yeah, definitely had to make sure that I'd done that correctly, and that was a little bit tricky, but it wasn't too bad in the end. As you can see here, I'm just sort of connecting them up and making sure that they all run. And I'm not sure if you've seen me do it yet, but the little bit at the top of the train is what actually makes the wheels go round. I don't think it has the actual handle on it yet, but there is like a little like stick that, yeah, look, the stick that holds out of the top, the little gold bit, that is what turns the wheels. And then the last thing that I had to do was just build all of the signs and put all of the stickers on, and then that was done.